John Fishwick, an attorney. John, you and I have talked often about how the high court may rule. We listened to the oral arguments together, and it seemed as though they were very skeptical of the team from Colorado and their defense on this. Now they are saying that Trump can remain on the ballot, so that is the headline. What are you reading between the lines on the decision? I'm hearing it's a unanimous decision.
Yeah, Marni, the handwriting was on the wall in this case after the oral arguments in this case on February 8th. The justices were skeptical that a state could issue a ruling that a federal candidate for president of the United States could be removed from the ballot based on the decision of one court in Colorado. Even Justice Kagan, an Obama appointee, seemed very skeptical of that. And really, there was no support at the oral argument for any of the arguments that the Colorado petitioners were making. So it's no surprise today. It is a unanimous decision. There are some concurring opinions, but it looks like Justice Roberts, he should be credited for this. He got a unanimous decision on what was a long shot legal case at the beginning, but nevertheless made its way to the Supreme Court. After all, and they decided this with a lot of alacrity. They took the case in early January, and here we are in early March, and we have a decision. Former President Trump will be on the ballot in Colorado and really in every state in the upcoming election.
Right. So just to be clear, the pending cases in Maine and most recently in Illinois, the impact will be he will stay on the ballot there. It makes those cases null and void. What's the impact?
Yes, Marni, it makes those cases null and void. This applies to any case where a state or a judge in a state or a secretary of state would say, hey, look, he committed insurrection under the 14th Amendment. We're removing him from the ballot. This case is clear that if anything like that were to happen, it's got to be done by Congress. It can't be done by an individual state, by an individual secretary of state, or by a state Supreme Court. So this is the law of the land, and that's the decision today.
Right. So no new cases then would result as well, correct?
Correct. And nobody can bring a new case. This is the law of the land. So if they brought a new case, it would be in violation of this law. And so therefore, no other state can bring a case to remove him from the ballot under the 14th Amendment, Section 3.
So again, this just coming down, the high court saying that Trump will remain on the ballot, setting a precedent for all other cases. As we read through some of the ruling, what nuances will you be looking for? What specifics will you be looking for that the justices leaned on in ultimately coming to this?
I think the oral argument was pretty consistent with the opinion. You know, they stayed away from the issue of did former President Trump commit insurrection. You know, judges don't want to be involved in that really political or criminal call. They wanted to look at what the 14th Amendment was designed to do. And that is, the 14th Amendment was a post-Civil War amendment, which was designed to, in fact, empower the federal government to keep an eye on the state government. We were coming out of the Civil War. And so the last thing our country wanted to do was let the southern states make decisions about, you know, who could hold political office and who couldn't. So I think it's consistent with that. I think the important thing is they're kind of a strict reading of the 14th Amendment and the history of that amendment. And based on what they had said in the oral argument, the decision is not a surprise at all.
I'm just looking, my producer sending me Trump's response on Truth Social. Big win for America. Final question for you, John. The high court will also hear arguments over whether Trump can be prosecuted on election interference charges, ultimately the presidential immunity discussion. Does this case have any bearing on that one at all?
I think it does in this sense, Marni. They made this decision really promptly. In roughly 60 days, they decided to reverse the Colorado Supreme Court and issue their decision today. That's light speed for the United States Supreme Court. So it looks like they will at least do that with the criminal immunity decision. They've already set that for oral argument the week of April 22nd. I would imagine we'll have a decision on the criminal immunity issue.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.